Hello. Thank you for being here. Welcome. I was instructed last minute to give you a welcome. I'm Rebecca Wood, in case you don't know me. I'll be directing these fine people behind me. And we're just really grateful that you chose to take some time out of your Sunday afternoon on the Solstice to experience some music with us and some other wonderful art forms. We hope you enjoy. Oh, wait, there's one other thing I was supposed to tell you. So sorry. There's been a slight change to the program. Emma Caffrey is sick, so Chiho Kaneko will be filling in with something. Now enjoy.
Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Bum bidi bum, bidi 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 bum, bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Bum bidi bum, bidi 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 bum, bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Bum bidi bum, bidi 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 bum, bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Holidays here, it's a happy time of year. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Once more in time, sung in melody and rhyme. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Candles alight and their flame is so bright, reflected in little children's eyes. Come and dance to the tune, it's a holiday mood. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Bum bidi bum, bidi 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 bum, bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Bum bidi bum, bidi 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 bum, bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Holiday is here, it's a happy time of year. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Once more in time, sung in melody and rhyme. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Candles alight and their flame is so bright, reflected in little children's eyes. Come and dance to the tune, it's a holiday mood. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Bidi 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 bum. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bidi bum, bidi 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 bum, bidi bum, bidi 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 bum, 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 bidi bum, bidi 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 bum. Something told the wild geese it was time to go. Though the fields lay golden, something whispered slow. Leaves were green and stirring, berries rushed and low. But beneath warm feathers, something caution frost. The second orchard, steamed with amber spice, but each one restiffen hath remembered us. Something told the wild geese it was time to fly. Summer sun was on their wings. Winter, winter, winter in their cry.
standing before you until our dress rehearsal. So it's kind of amazing what is able to happen here. But just to say,
No
we
need
hope
to
you
make
enjoy.
excuses.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed the last selection for now.
Against the sky, etched in ink, the trees are standing still in the quiet morning cold. Every branch has a simple grace, a winter story to be told.
Wind and snow, frost and chill, they linger. River moves underneath an icy shell.
Lately birds do their best to sing, for they all know deep winter well. Sun will rise morning light, courageous, kindling light from the everlasting days. Buds will thrive, little gems that hold the golden haze. Trees, patient and majestic, wear their mantles of snow white down, curving, reaching into the air. They cradle winter's sky blue crown. I keep watch from a lofty window, waiting here for the earth to blossom forth.
Southern winds roaring through the clouds, they claim the power of the north.
Sun will rise morning and courageous, kindling light through the everlasting days. Buds will thrive, little gems that hold the golden haze. The golden gaze of spring, rising out of winter.
I don't get light? What? You are the light. Oh, there goes Chiho. And yes. Well, they asked me to follow that. Now I'm going to sing for you a selection called Bidi Bon. No, trust me, you don't want to hear it. Hi, I'm Dan Patterson. I'm a professor emeritus from Keene State College in New Hampshire, where I taught theater for 40 years. In around 2015, 2016, my wife, Cheryl Perry, and I came to our senses and retired to Vermont. And so we live in Hartland, Four Corners now. And I started working with the HCA, the Hartland Community Arts, which is a very worthy organization, let me tell you. The piece that I'm doing for you owes a lot of apologies to Clement Clark Moore's A Visit from St. Nicholas, which I think most of you have heard. This is my attempt to add to the pantheon of parodies that have been done around that poem. I call it the Christmas Eve ritual. 'Twas the night before Christmas in the main room of our house. Unpacking my tools, I turned to my spouse. Instructions are studied and we are inspired. Surely we can manage, some assembly required. The children were quiet, though not asleep in their beds. My wife and I both faced the evening with dread. 2 bikes, Peppa's Playhouse, a remote-controlled drone, and from Grandpa, a drum set. We cried with a groan. We opened the boxes as our hearts skipped a beat. Let nothing be missing or parts incomplete. Too late for last-minute returns or replacement. If we don't get this right, it goes straight to the basement. When what to my wearying eyes should appear 50 sheets of directions, all concise but not clear. With each part numbered and every slot named, if we failed, we had only ourselves to be blamed. More scattered than snowflakes, the parts all fell out, all over the carpet, all strewn about. 20 bags full of screws met our frantic eyes, and each one, of course, a different size. Some slot heads, some Phillips, and even some hex. We began to wonder what could possibly come next. Is it standard? Is it metric? Is it coarse thread? Is it fine? Why can't they decide? Is there any more wine? Use a crescent, a socket, or an Allen wrench, the thought of which then made my molars clench. I was going to say sphincter, but I thought it was crude. A nice crowd like you folks might think it was rude. Now bolt it, now twist it, that screw goes right on. Determined we are that these toys will not win. Hold this with the left hand and turn this with the right. Your third hand goes here and you make it so tight. Hammer the roof on, the walls make it stand. Honey, my wife said, you just glued my hand. And then in a twinkling, I knew for a fact that the toy makers had indeed made a sinister pact to drive parents frantic all Christmas Eve night. Some assembly required till morning's first light. We spoke not a word, but bent straight to our work, till our eyes they went bleary and our fingers all hurt. The coffee went cold, and the night it wore thin, before we attached the last rod and the last pin. The TV was running in all of its glory, the 40th showing of A Christmas Story. Finally, laying the tools away in the chest, we fell into bed for a well-deserved rest. And I said to my wife just before I passed out, this will be the best Christmas without any doubt. Tomorrow we'll cheer, let the holiday ring, and not have to run to the store for a thing. We did it, the gifts are all set for the perfect, most wonderful Christmas, I bet. Then off to repose, I prayed for recovery, to wake in an hour with a shocking discovery. There's no joy in Mudville, we're so self-deluded. We forgot the first Christmas rule, batteries aren't included.
Good evening. How's everybody doing, all right?
Hey.
So, we are doing a piece that I put together last week. It's a microphone next. Excuse us. This is a test. Okay, sounds like it's working. A composition based on well, first of all, it's a composition for a low whistle, piano, and electric bass. My son graciously volunteered to accompany me. That was great too. We do music a lot together.
Yeah.
He's a multi-instrumentalist as I am. I have the piano part recorded, and the rest is going to be live. So this is a take on some Christmas songs. Plus, I wrote a little interlude myself, which might seem a little cheeky given the other composer stuff I'm doing, but nonetheless, if you don't know the melody, it's something I put together.
I'm playing, I should say Nancy Conte couldn't come here today. She has a lot of theater experience. and I play ping pong with her. She moves very well also. But she had to be, her family came from all over the country. Can you hear me? I have to hold it closer? Okay. So I'm going to do this myself, and I figured I should wear a Pierrot costume, famous comedian, part of the Commedia dell'arte, which goes back centuries. And I'm wearing, this is my wife's hat, and I thought it's a perfect Pierrot outfit, actually. This is a piece of art that was made by, this coat jacket is a piece of art that was made by Rabbi Taylor's wife, Judith, for the fabric show at Artistry last year. It's all her scraps. It's all scraps. And I love it. This is an Edgar Allan poem. One cylinder, one syllable. And I'm going to move, I don't know, I'm going to try and move with the microphone after I read the poem. The womb stays in tune with the moon to make room for the room. There is no room for the doom in the bloom of the groom. Okay, see if we can do this here. The womb stays in tune with the moon. To make room for the moon. There is no room for the doom in the bloom of the groom.
So now, for a second, I'd like to wear a producer's hat. Thank you very much for being here today. And I want to give a special shout out to Rebecca Wood, who gathered the choir members. From 35 years ago, almost 35 years ago, Clydine Tracha and Richard Waddell, they started this holiday season tradition of singing, gathering community chorus and performing. And I think without her, we couldn't have done this. So I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
And so today we are supposed to have one solo singer, Emma Caffrey, whom you know as a really fabulous singer, but she had some health issue today, a vocal issue. So instead of skipping it, I said, all right, in the spirit of community giving, I'm going to wing it. And, yeah.
Long
Phil Donahue, and I'm going to read a short excerpt from Charles Dickens's novella, A Christmas Carol. Let me get a chair. Now I'm sure you all know the story of The Christmas Carol, but I'll just review it a little bit. So Ebenezer Scrooge is a nasty old miser who operates a counting house. His partner, Jacob Marley, died 7 years before. Scrooge, on a Christmas Eve, goes to his rooms, and the ghost of Jacob Marley comes in and confronts him and tells Scrooge that he, Marley, is having a terrible time in the afterlife because of the life he lived while he was alive, grasping, greedy, out for nothing but money. And he tells Scrooge that Scrooge is on the same path and is going to have a worse time in the hereafter if he doesn't change his ways. And so the ghost of Marley tells Scrooge that he's going to send Scrooge 3 spirits, one of whom is the ghost of Christmas past, and this would be the ghost of Scrooge's past. It's an excerpt from that chapter that I'm going to read you. But to really appreciate what I'm going to read, you have to realize that there had been a change in men's fashion at this time. I think we're talking about the 1830s. And in about the 18 teens, men quit wearing what they call breeches and hose. If you'll remember portraits you've seen of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and all our founding fathers, they wore these breeches and white hose and these little slip-on shoes with maybe buckles on them. And that was being replaced by what we wear now, which they call pantaloons or stovepipes. And by 1840, everybody's wearing these kind of trousers. But this occurs in the 1830s, and it was, at that time, it was only the old-timers that were still wearing the breeches and the hose. Everybody else had changed. But there's a Mr. Fezziwig in the part I'm going to read to you, and he's one of these old-timers that still wears the breeches and the hose. I'll get to Dickens in just a minute, but you should know that in this episode, the ghost of Christmas past has taken Scrooge to his early childhood, and then he's taken him to his private school, secondary school, and now here's Dickens. They were now in the busy thoroughfare of a city where shadowy passengers passed and repassed, where shadowy carts and coaches battled for way, and all the strife and tumult of a real city were. It was made plain enough by the dressing of the shops that here too it was Christmas time. But it was evening and the streets were lighted up. The ghost stopped at a certain warehouse and asked Scrooge if he knew it. "Know it," said Scrooge. "Was I not apprenticed here?" They went in. At sight of an old gentleman in a Welsh wig sitting behind such a high desk that if he had been 2 inches taller, he must have knocked his head against the ceiling, Scrooge cried out in great excitement, "Why, it's old Fezziwig! Bless his heart! It's Fezziwig, alive again!" Old Fezziwig laid down his pen and looked at the clock, which pointed to the hour of 7. He rubbed his hands, adjusted his capacious waistcoat, laughed all over himself from his shoes to his organ of benevolence, and called out in a comfortable, oily, rich, fat, jovial voice, "Yo-ho there, Ebenezer! Dick!" Scrooge's former self, now a young man, came briskly in, accompanied by his fellow apprentice. "Dick Williams, to be sure," said Scrooge to the ghost. "Bless me, yes, there he is." He was very much attached to me, was Dick. Poor Dick. Dear, dear. Yo-ho, my boys, said Fezziwig. No more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson. You wouldn't believe how those two fellows went at it. They charged into the street with the shutters. 1, 2, 3. Had them up in their place. 4, 5, 6. Barred them and pinned them. 7, 8, 9. And came back before you could have got to 12, panting like horses. Hilly-ho! Cried old Fezziwig, skipping down from the high desk with wonderful agility. Clear away, my lads, and let's have lots of room here. Hilly-ho, Dick. Chirreep, Ebenezer. Clear away. There was nothing they wouldn't have cleared away, or couldn't have cleared away, with old Fezziwig looking on. It was done in a minute. Every movable was packed off, as if it were dismissed from public life forevermore. The floor was swept and watered, the lamps were trimmed, fuel was heaped upon the fire, and the warehouse was as snug and warm and dry and bright a ballroom as you would desire to see upon a winter's night. In came a fiddler with a music book and went up to the lofty desk and made an orchestra of it and tuned like 50 stomachaches. I'll stop here, but I'll tell you, here for several pages, Dickens gives a wonderful description of all the people that came to this Christmas Eve dance. It starts with his 3 daughters, the Miss Fezziwigs, and their suitors, 6 young men, and then all the men that worked in the warehouse with their wives and their girlfriends, and then a few of the other friends that the Fezziwigs had. Then Dickens describes their dances and their forfeits, and then he describes the meal that he put on. There was cake, and there was negus, and there was a great piece of cold roast, and there was a great piece of cold boiled, and there were mince pies, and there was plenty of beer. And after the meal, when the fiddlers struck up Sir Roger de Coverley, then old Fezziwig stood out to dance with Mrs. Fezziwig. Top couple, too, with a good stiff piece of work cut out for them. 20 partners, people who were not to be trifled with, people who would dance and had no notion of walking. But if there had been twice as many, 4 times, old Fezziwig would have been a match for them, and so would Mrs. Fezziwig. As to her, she was worthy to be his partner in every sense of the term. And if that's not high praise, tell me higher, and I'll use it. A positive light appeared to issue from Fezziwig's calves. They shone in every part of the dance like moons. You couldn't have predicted at any given time what would have become of them next. And when old Fezziwig and Mrs. Fezziwig had gone all through the dance, advance and retire, both hands to your partner, bow and curtsy, corkscrew, thread the needle, and back again to your place, Fezziwig cut, and cut so deftly that he appeared to wink with his legs and came to his feet again without a stagger. When the clock struck 11, the domestic ball broke up. Mr. and Mrs. Fezziwig took their stations, one on either side of the door, and, shaking hands with each person individually as he or she went out, wished him or her a Merry Christmas.
How the Grinch borrowed Christmas. How the Grinch stole Christmas, by now, you all know. But did you realize this was not his first rodeo? He tried once before to stop Christmas from coming, in early December, when the Who library was humming. All the Who's of Whoville, the talls and the smalls, they would come to take books out, each one and all. Not just books about Christmas, but all holidays, Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, with candles ablaze, how to celebrate Solstice, or to just make a feast of Who pudding and hash, or rare Who roast beast.
So this
Hissed the Grinch.
is how those Who's know how to celebrate holidays once cold winters blow. They read, and they read, they read. How many books do these Who's even need?
Then the Grinch had a thought, a great terrible thought.
If I were to take the books that these Who's have all bought, then their holiday plans, they will all come to naught.
So he got on his sleigh and from the mountain came down to the Who Public Library in the center of town.
Whoa, Max, whoa.
He loaded his arms with books of all kinds about every winter holiday which he could find. But just as he was getting ready to leave, a little Who tug came at his Grinch sleeve.
Excuse me,
The Who said,
but I have my doubts. Have you already had all of those books checked out?
Tracy Joy Lou Who, librarian supreme, and seen right through his nasty Grinch scheme.
Just so you know, there's no reason to steal. You can just borrow. It's really a great deal.
Now the Grinch just felt silly, for before he did not know that he always could take all the books in his tow. All that this would not come as a great library blow. Far from it, for instead it now seemed to be Tracy Joy Lou Who's librarian dream.
Never mind,
Said the Grinch.
for this is no fun. I did not know that this thing could be done. To take a book and to take it for free. I thought I was stealing. This simply can't be.
So he left, did the Grinch, in a big Grinchy huff, and he left behind all of his holiday stuff. He went back to Mount Scottney in a bit of a tizzy and sat down with a book to keep himself busy. And as he sat down with a book in his lap, he slipped off into a long holiday nap. He slept all through Christmas, through the end of December, which may be why you do not remember that the Grinch borrowed Christmas before he stole. But now you know the story in whole.
Pay no attention to the man in the corduroy coat.
Winter solstice, the time of the year with the greatest darkness. Nature slumbers in quiet starkness, the trees are bare, the earth is asleep. The silence and stillness run truthful and deep. Recognize that as the earth is resting, it bestows on you its greatest blessing, that from winter comes spring and life once again, for the wheel of nature spins with no end. What a miracle that on this shortest day, when it feels like we could just descend completely into darkness, the light returns with the birth of the sun. For 6 months, the days have been getting shorter and darkness grew. But on the winter solstice, the light returns. From here, the days will continue to grow longer, brighter, and warmer until the sun is strong enough to return life to everything in nature. At the winter solstice, we recognize this tiny new light. We commemorate the hope it brings, knowing it will continue to grow and deliver us from the cold, dark days. We celebrate the potential this tiny light holds. In the coming months, anything is possible. May you find peace in the promise of the solstice night, that each day forward is blessed with more light, that the cycle of nature, unbroken and true, brings faith to your soul and well-being to you. Rejoice in the darkness, in the silence, find rest, and may the days that follow be abundantly blessed.